Okay, so basically our topic is filter. So I want to know what do you mean by filter? What is basic function of a filter? In general knowledge, I just want the answer out of the book. What do you mean by filter? Anyone?
স্যার বলবো
বল।
কিছু সিলেক্টেড রেঞ্জ ফ্রিকোয়েন্সিকে পাস করে
হুম। ওকে।
কিছু সিলেক্টেড রেঞ্জ ফ্রিকোয়েন্সিকে পাস করে
ওকে।
স্যার কিছু আনওয়ান্টেড জিনিসকে ফিল্টার করে।
গুড। Okay, so filter basically used to pass out our wanted signals by simply nullifying the unwanted part of the signal. Okay, so basically in DFT or Z transform, what you have done, you have calculated the frequency response of a signal. Suppose xn is given, from there you have calculated x e to the power j omega or xz that are in the frequency domain. The important of that is whenever you will design a filter, that filter will work depending on the frequency. Keep in mind, whenever you will design a filter, that filter will work over the frequency, not in the time domain. So whenever you will consider a sequence, that sequence must be converted into frequency domain. Suppose xn, we have a sequence. That sequence is basically a noisy sequence. We want to filter out the noise from xn. So the first step to do is that you have to calculate x e to the power j omega or xz, whatever. And to do that, you can use the Fourier transform. So first step is that you have to design the Fourier transform. Okay. So you will get x to the power j, e to the power j omega. After that, from that x e to the power j omega, you have to view the spectral analysis of the signal. Spectral analysis means the frequency response of the signal. Okay. So frequency response means in time domain or in the x-axis. In the x-axis, you will have the frequency defined by omega. In the y-axis, you will have the amplitude, h or mod x, whatever. Okay. So first of all, you have to represent that frequency response from the input signal. The frequency response will define a frequency range from 0 to a range pi. So 0 will be your low frequency and you are going towards the pi, that pi will be your high frequency. Okay, so what you will do, considering that frequency response, you will get your filter. I will I'm giving you the example before starting the filter, and everything I will show you in the MATLAB coding part, so it will be more clear to all of you. So first I just want to give you some idea why we are doing the frequency domain representation to design a filter. Okay, so that type of representation you will get whenever you will represent a frequency domain representation of xn. Okay, so if you get that type of expression, from that expression using some specific operation, you will design a filter of some impulse response hn as a h e to the power j omega. all of you know that Hn is the impulse response, and if you do the FT, Fourier transform of impulse response, Hn, you got h e to the power j omega. Then what should we do? We will simply multiply that filter with Xn. Okay, suppose just that is your x e to the power j omega, suppose. Okay, and that part defines the filter original signal, and that part defines the noise. How can we say that the peak defines the original signal and the other part defines the noise? Because whenever you will consider a sequence xn, obviously that xn original part will be the maximum constant to the noise. If original part is minimum constant to the noise, then what will happen? That is basically the noise will be the original signal, other part will be the noise, na? So whenever you will design a signal, or whenever you will consider a signal part will be the maximum related to the noise. So the peak that you will get, that peak is basically for the signal, not for the noise. Keep in mind. Just keep in mind. So if you get that type of structure, in that structure, that part defines your the signal part, frequency of the signal, and that part defines the noise of the signal. So what you have to do, you have to design a filter where only that part, suppose that frequency defines omega 1, that frequency defines omega 2, between omega 1 and omega 2 only that frequency you want to pass, removing the other part. So you have to design h e to the power j omega, which is basically your filter, as like that. This is omega 1, this is omega 2, this is 1. So that is omega, that is your magnitude h. So if we design that part and if we multiply with that signal x e to the power j omega, what will happen? This is your 0, so that part will be obviously 0, and this is also 0, so that part will also obviously be 0, and this part is 1, so 1 is multiplied to that part between omega 1 and omega 2, so only that peak will remain to the signal x to the power j omega. Okay, so that is our interest. We will keep the peak by removing the other parts. So in that way we will design our filter. Okay, clear to that? Or if you have any question, you can ask me.
Clear, sir.
Okay, so now before designing that type of filter, we are going to know types of filters. What are the types of filter? What should be the characteristics of the filters? That we need to know first. So first consider a low pass filter. Filter are basically four type we are using. We basically uses four type of filter. One is the low pass filter, high pass filter, band pass filter, and band stop filter or band reject filter. And the initial filter that we are going to design is called the low pass filter, and also we are going to consider ideal low pass filter. Ideal low pass filter, and what is the characteristics of that filter and what is the problem with that filter, that I am going to discuss now. So ideal low pass filter basically defines that from a low frequency range 0 to omega c, you will get 1, and omega c to pi you will get 0. Means what? That omega c is called the cutoff frequency. Means what? Within that range 0 to omega c, if you have any frequency in the input signal, so that input signal will be pass if we multiply the input signal with that filter, and between omega c plus to pi, within that range, whatever the frequency you have in the input signal, that frequency will be nullified. So this is basically the characteristics of the ideal low pass filter. Okay, so this is the positive part, that is 0 to pi you have considered. The negative part will also be the same, and it will come to minus pi. Why we are considering from pi to minus pi? Why not 2 pi to minus 2 pi? Because our visual range or visual perspective range is pi. Means maximum you can visualize at a single time up to 180 degree. After that you cannot visualize. Okay, so that is the reason whenever we will consider the filter, you will consider always a range of pi. Now matter is that 0 to pi and pi 0 to minus pi, you can check it, both are same. The magnitude of both are same, only difference is in the phase or in the phase angle. For this case your magnitude is 1, for this case your magnitude is 1. For this case you have frequency omega c, but for this case you have frequency simply negative of omega c. So generally whenever we will design a filter, keep in mind that we will design a filter only for that part, for positive part. We do not consider the negative part, because simply if we can design the positive part, consider magnitude 1, and that frequency you are considering, simply consider negative or the opposite of that frequency, you will get the negative part. So you don't need to design the negative part separately. That is the reason whenever we will design only the positive part. Also you can design the negative part also, that we are not considering positive part, we are considering the negative part. Okay, generally a filter consider the positive part, that's why we can consider the 0 to pi range. Okay, so keep in mind whenever we will design filter will start from 0 and it will end to pi. Between 0 to pi you will have the frequency range that will pass and the frequency range that will stop. Clear?
স্যার
স্যার স্যার একবার ক্যারেক্টারিস্টিকটা একবার বলবেন আইডিয়াল লো পাস ফিল্টারে?
Ideal low pass filter characteristics. The characteristics of ideal low pass filter is that 0 to a frequency range omega c you will get exactly 1. Okay, it a constant 1 you will get from 0 to omega c, and whenever you are crossing omega c you will get suddenly 0. Means what? If you have simply a signal like that whose frequency response is like that, suppose whose frequency response is like that, suppose that is omega, that is your omega c, and that is x, the input sequence magnitude, that is 0. So what will happen? 0 to omega c you have exactly 1, omega c to pi you have exactly 0. Okay, so simply if we multiply that to that, so 0 to omega c you will have the sequence, and after that you will have 0. So that sequence will look like, suppose look like that.
স্যার
Hmm.
স্যার যদি পাই এর পরে আমরা গ্রাফটা প্লট করি তাহলে ওটা কি আবার 1 হয়ে যাবে?
No, pi এর পর that filter repeats, so it will be 1. Yes, pi এর পর that filter repeats, so pi to omega c plus pi, that will be
হুম,
1, and 2 pi omega c plus pi to 2 pi, that will be 0, and that part will continue.
ওকে স্যার।
And in the negative part also it will continue like that. Okay,
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
okay, ঠিক আছে।
ওকে স্যার।
So this is the characteristics of the ideal low pass filter, that between minus omega c to omega c you will have 1, and minus pi to minus omega c and omega c to pi, within that range you will get 0. So that is the characteristics of an ideal low pass filter. Keep in mind, ideal. Now simply, if that low filter is defined by h e to the power j omega, then from here if we calculate hn, what will be the value of hn? Can you tell me? Hn means what? You have the frequency response, you have to get the time response. Means simply you have to do the inverse Fourier transform, and the formula for inverse Fourier transform is 1 by 2 pi integration minus pi 2 pi minus pi 2 pi h e to the power j omega e to the power j omega n d omega. So that is your expression to calculate the inverse Fourier transform. Okay, now for this filter, if we represent the equation for this filter, then we have considered minus omega c to omega c is 1, other part is 0. So we can represent that filter as 1 by 2 pi. Instead of minus pi we can consider minus omega c, and instead of pi we can consider omega c. If we consider that range, what will be the value of h? Answer me. Between minus omega c to omega c, what is the value of h? Between, am I audible to all of you?
Yes sir.
Just answer me. For minus omega c to omega c, what is the value of h? 1 na?
Yes sir, 1 হবে স্যার।
For this filter, so minus omega c to omega c, the value of h is 1. So as we have considered the integration range from minus omega c to omega c, we will represent h value by 1. So it will be e to the power j omega n d omega. Okay, so if we do the integration here, simply what we will get? 1 by 2 pi e to the power j omega cn by jn minus e to the power minus j omega cn by jn. If we do the integration, you will get that part. So from here, just check it. If we make jn common from both sides and just write like that, 1 by n or pi n or n pi whatever into 1 by 2j multiplied by e to the power j omega c n minus e to the power minus j omega c n. What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? 1 by 2 pi
স্যার এটা একটা সাইন অয়লার্স ফর্মুলা বলে একটা আছে স্যার, সাইন যে ওমেগা সি এন হবে তাহলে।
no, j will not be there. Sin omega c n.
হ্যাঁ,
Yes, exactly.
ইয়েস স্যার।
So it will be 1 by pi n sin omega c n. What is the meaning of that? That the filter that we have designed or we have considered is an ideal low pass filter, and if we simply check that spatial response, spatial domain representation, or simply the time domain representation of that ideal low pass filter, we are getting 1 by pi n sin omega c n. What is the meaning of that? This value 1 by pi n sin omega c n, it is causal, anti-causal, or non-causal? What should be the characteristics of that value 1 by pi n sin omega c n? When the system will be causal? If the result of the system lies between 0 to positive, then system is causal. If the system response or the system output lies between 0 to negative, within that range, then the system is anti-causal. And if you get a system that may have in the positive range, that may have in the negative range, then the system is called the non-causal. Okay, so with respect to that, what is the property of that system? Causal, anti-causal, or non-causal?
Non-causal.
Obviously it will be non-causal, because if we consider the value of n from minus infinity to plus infinity, any value you should consider, you will get a value. So minus infinity range to plus infinity range, you have a value of sin omega c n. So obviously the system 1 by pi n sin omega c n is a non-causal system. So one characteristics of ideal low pass filter is that the filter is non-causal. The system filter is non-causal. One. Another is that the system is stable or unstable. What is the property of stability? Property of stability is that if we put the value of n for different range, from minus infinity, from suppose 0 to infinity range, or simply 0 to n range, the value 1 by pi n sin omega c n, that is going to be infinite. Okay, you cannot get a finite range for this sin omega c n. Means simply summation of, that is defined as hn. So summation of, if we simply calculate hn, that will be negative. Summation of that will not be less than infinite. Summation of hn will not be less than infinite. That means the system is unstable. So two property we are getting. One is the non-causality, another is the unstability property. So is that clear? Why ideal low pass filter is non-causal and unstable? কিরে বসে থাকলে হবে না, অ্যান্সার দিতে হবে। একবার না বুঝতে পারলে
ক্লিয়ার
বারবার।
স্যার
স্যার
বলছি ওই
বল বল। Okay. So I think it is clear to all of you that an ideal low pass filter is non-causal and unstable. So that is the reason we cannot use ideal low pass filter for filtration part, because our system must be causal and stable. If the system is causal and stable, then the system will going to work properly. System may be non-causal, may be unstable, but the maximum system, the maximum response that we are going to work are the causal and stable. So in that cases we will not use the ideal filter. The reason is that the ideal filter is non-causal and unstable. So I think it is clear. So what we are going to do if we are not going to use the ideal filter? We are going to design the practical filter. And what is that? Practical filter will look like that. That will be your omega frequency, that will be your magnitude H, and that will be your ideal filter 0 to omega C, and that will be your practical filter. So that is your practical filter, that is your ideal filter. So in practical filter, what is happening? A sudden change at the cutoff frequency is not happening here. Okay, so the reason is that if we simply represent that in the time domain or simply in the spatial domain, you can see that this will not be unstable, this will not be non-causal, this will be obviously causal and stable. So in spite of ideal filter, we will use the practical filter, and property of practical filter like that. It will start from 1 and it will gradually decrease to pi. For simply low pass filter, that is simply for low pass filter, it will start from 0 and end at pi. 0 will contain the maximum value and the maximum value will be 1, and pi will contain the minimum value. Minimum value will be the 0. Okay. Why 1? Why the filter maximum value is 1? Can anyone give me the answer? Why the maximum value of a filter is 1? Because if we multiply any sequence by 1, the sequence remain as it is. We have the input sequence. We are going to multiply that input sequence by the filter. Okay. So if the value is not 1, if instead of 1 if we use 2, and if we multiply that with the sequence, what will happen? The sequence will be double. So that original sequence will be affected. So we should not affect the original signal. We have to keep the original signal as it is. That is the reason we will consider the maximum range of the filter is 1. Means what? The range, frequency range that is going to pass through the filter, we will try to keep that is within a range 1. But it is always not possible. Keep in mind, if it is possible, then it becomes the ideal filter. Right? That between 0 to omega c, it should always be 1. If we can do that, that means it is going to be the ideal filter. We are not going to use the ideal filter. So practically, it is not possible to make 0 to omega c always 1. So what we are going to do? We are going to allow up to a certain range so that the effect over the input signal will be acceptable. Means that minimum effect, if that minimum effect is done over the input signal, so the input signal will not change in that way, so that result will be something different. So that acceptable range is defined by that range alpha. Means between 1 to alpha, whatever the value or whatever the range of frequency you are getting is acceptable. For up to that, you can check this is 1. After that, it is less than 1. So okay, if we multiply this, the signal will be somewhat difference. That difference is acceptable. Keep in mind, the value of alpha is defined by 1 by root 2. Always keep in mind that value of alpha is defined as 1 by root 2. Means the filter response is connecting or cutting the cutoff frequency. Okay, the where the filter response is cutting the cutoff frequency, the magnitude value of that is defined as alpha, and the value of alpha is 1 by root 2. Okay, and in some cases it is defined in dB form, means a decibel form. Then decibel form basically defines as 20 log 10 alpha. So in dB form, if we represent 1 by root 2 or 20 log base 10 1 by root 2, it will be minus 3. So it is minus 3 dB. And if we consider 20 log base 10 1, you will get this part is 0 or simply 0 dB. Means simply if we represent the filter in decibel format, it will start from 0 decibel and it will go towards the minus decibel, minus 3, minus 5, minus 20, minus 60, like that. Okay, and if it is the magnitude format, so simply 1 to 0. Clear? And maximum allowable range is 0 to minus 3 dB. Within that range, whatever the frequency, whatever the changes is happening to the filter is allowable. Keep in mind. So this part is called the pass band. Pass band means we are going to pass that filter. This part is called the pass band. Okay. Now after that, this part must be the stop band, but not. It's not. Whenever you are designing the signal, you can see that it is monotonically decreasing. Monotonically decreasing means there should not be any spike changes like that. It is continuously decreasing like that. So it is showing here that it is monotonically decreasing. But practically, whenever you will design the filter should not decrease monotonically. The filter that you will get like that. You will get a filter like that. Means here you are getting a change in frequency, down, up, like that. Here also you are getting a change in frequency. So already initially I have told you that the change in frequency will be allowed up to a range 0 to minus 3 dB or 1 to 1 by root 2 range. within that range, whatever the changes is happening, we are allowing that. Similarly, in the stop band, that you have to choose how much frequency you are going to allow. In the stop band, suppose that is beta, so that up to that beta range we are going to allow, because after beta, magnitude after beta, we are getting the up down changes or the ripples. Okay, so up to beta we can allow, after beta we should not allow. So that will strictly be stopped. That portion strictly be stopped after that portion. So this is called the omega s, and this is called the stop band. That portion should strictly be stopped. Means what? Means you can see that the pass band, the 0 to omega c range is fixed. You cannot do anything between the 0 to omega c. What you can do, you can control the stop band. In spite of beta, if we in spite of value of beta like that, you can choose a beta value of like that. Up to that you can also choose. If you see that we are getting spike also here, so you can choose beta like that. So you can control the stop band range or the attenuation range, you can say. Okay, so that is your pass band, that is your stop band. So between pass band and stop band, what is happening? That range, the yellow shaded range, that is called the transition band. Transition band means it is in a transit. Means that part we need to choose whether we will consider that part is within the pass band or we are going to choose that part is in the stop band. That you have to consider. Okay. Generally, whenever we are defining the stop band range, the remaining transition band comes within the pass band range. Keep in mind. So practically, whenever you are designing the filter, you are defining the stop band range. So that is your stop band range, and the remaining part is defined as the pass band range. So your pass band range become that. And keep in mind, your aim always be like that, to reduce the transition band. If the minimum number of transition or the minimum range of the transition band you are getting, means the filter that you are getting is in a good quality. Okay, the filter that you are getting is in a good quality. But matter is that whenever you are trying to reduce the transition band, what will happen? You need to increase the order of the filter. And if we increase the order of the filter, generally the filter complexity and the expected cost also will increase. Okay, so that we have to keep in mind also, that order of the filter should be like that, the cost is reduced, complexity is reduced, as well as the transition band that we are getting must be in a allowable range, so that we can easily design the filter. Okay, so these are the characteristics of a filter. Whenever you will design, you have to keep in mind. So up to that, if you have any question, you can ask me. আজকে তো ছাড়ছি না
স্যার স্যার
হ্যাঁ বল
স্যার নেগেটিভ সাইডে যে ফ্রিকোয়েন্সিটা দেখালেন মাইনাস ওমেগা সি থেকে 0, ওটা মানে
ওই রেঞ্জে ফ্রিকোয়েন্সিটাকে পাস করে না, অনলি পজিটিভ সাইডের রেঞ্জটাকে পাস করে তো?
না 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 না, কেন তা হবে? নেগেটিভ সাইডেও পাস করবে। আমরা যখন
মানে মাইনাস ওমেগা সি থেকে প্লাস ওমেগা সি।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, অবভিয়াসলি মাইনাস ওমেগা সি টু ওমেগা সি ইট উইল পাস। আমরা ডিজাইন করছি 0 টু ওমেগা সি। যখন আমরা ডিজাইন করলাম 0 টু ওমেগা সি আর সিম্পলি 0 টু পাই, simply make that omega c minus omega c and make the magnitude same, so what you will get that part. ঠিক আছে? সো আমাদের এটা আলাদা করে ডিজাইন করা দরকার নেই, বাট আমরা যখন ফিল্টারটা ইউজ করব তখন আমরা ফিল্টারটা কিন্তু টোটাল পার্ট ইউজ করব।
স্যার তাহলে কাট অফ ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি কি দুটো হবে, ওমেগা সি আর মাইনাস ওমেগা সি?
অবভিয়াসলি পজিটিভের জন্য ওমেগা সি, নেগেটিভের জন্য মাইনাস ওমেগা সি। if the system is causal, keep in mind, if we consider the system is causal, then what is happening? The range we are getting always 0 to positive range, 0 to infinite range, and the maximum operation we are doing over the causal system, so we don't need to consider the negative part, right? We will consider only the positive part. But if we work on a anti-causal system, then we have to consider the negative part. For that case, simply make omega c as the minus omega c, keeping the magnitude same. So for anti-causal system, that filter will work. You don't need to do extra work for that. Clear?
ক্লিয়ার স্যার।
Okay. So that are the characteristics you have to keep in mind whenever you are designing a filter. So this is basically the low pass filter I have shown you. Now simply consider one example. Suppose xn is given as a cos omega 1 n plus b cos omega 2 n, and it is asked you to pass that range, or simply to pass that signal and simply reject that signal. We need to pass a cos omega 1 n and we need to stop b cos omega 2 n. আমাদের তো কিছু বলেনি বিএসএস কি করব, আসুক না, আমরা কি যাবো কেন? আমরা তো ওর মধ্যে কানেক্টেড নাই। যাবে কেন? যেও না। না না, যাবে কেন তুমি? হ্যাঁ, কেটে বলো। So xn equal to a cos omega 1 n that we are going to pass, and b cos omega 2 n that we are going to stop. Okay, so how can we do that? Simply we will make the magnitude of that frequency of that signal is equal to 1, and we will make magnitude of that signal is 0. What should be the magnitude of that signal? To calculate the magnitude, simply we have to represent the signal into a frequency domain range, and the frequency domain range is defined as like that. Simply x e to the power j omega a, that is the magnitude. For that case, suppose magnitude of this is defined as h, so it will be simply h e to the power j omega 1, as it is omega 1. So for this case, magnitude is defined by h e to the power j omega 1. For this case, magnitude is defined by h e to the power j omega 2. So for the first case, a, that is a constant, magnitude multiplied by cos omega 1 n plus phase angle, that is h e to the power j omega 1. So that will be the first response for a cos omega 1n. Similarly, b cos omega 2n can be defined as b mod h e to the power j omega 2 cos omega 2n plus phase h e to the power j omega 2. So what we are going to do? Simply after the frequency response, that magnitude will be 1, because if we simply draw, if we simply display that signal, so magnitude for that signal will be defined by h e to the power j omega 1, and magnitude for that signal will be defined by h e to the power j omega 2. So simply if we make that part is equal to 1, that part is equal to 0, the filter that we are going to design there, that part is 0, that part is 1. So what will happen? The total frequency response of that sequence will be 0, and that total sequence will remain as it is. Okay, so the output will be a that multiplied by cos omega 1 n and the phase. So that we are going to do whenever we are going to design a filter. See the practical example, it will be more clear to all of you. Just see the practical example.
স্যার
হ্যাঁ বল।
স্যার দুটো ইকুয়েশনই তো এক, তাহলে সেকেন্ড পার্টটা 0 হয়ে যাচ্ছে কেন?
একদমই না, দুটো ইকুয়েশন এক কোথায়, দুটো ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি আলাদা।
যে ওমেগা 2 আছে আর বি মাল্টিপ্লাই আছে, তো ওখানে কি স্যার ওমেগা 2 ভ্যালুর জন্য 0 হয়ে যাচ্ছে?
নো, সি দ্যাট ইজ আওয়ার ইনপুট সিকোয়েন্স। আমরা কি করছি, এই ইনপুট সিকোয়েন্সটাকে ইফ উই সিম্পলি রিপ্রেজেন্ট দ্যাট ইনপুট সিকোয়েন্স ইন এ রেসপন্স, you will get a response like that. Okay, that response that is defined by omega 1 and that is defined by omega 2. Okay, so what we are doing, we are designing a filter, যে ফিল্টারের এই রেঞ্জটা সাপোজ ওমেগা f1 and omega f2, এই রেঞ্জটাকে আমরা কি করছি, বিটুইন দ্যাট রেঞ্জ আমরা ফিল্টারটাকে রাখছি, অন্য রেঞ্জে আমরা ফিল্টারটাকে রাখছি না, মানে সিম্পলি ওমেগা f1 আর ওমেগা f2 যদি আমরা ফিল্টারটা এরকম ডিজাইন করি 1, আর আমরা যদি এই ফিল্টারটাকে মাল্টিপ্লাই করি এটা দিয়ে, কি হবে?
ওমেগা 1 ভ্যালুটা পাওয়া যাবে,
বাকিগুলো রিমুভ হয়ে যাবে। তার মানে কি করছি আমরা, এই যে ওমেগা 1 এর যে ম্যাগনিটিউড, এই যে ম্যাগনিটিউড ফিল্টারের সেই ম্যাগনিটিউডটা আমি কি করছি, 1 করছি। তার মানে ওমেগা 1 এর ম্যাগনিটিউড কোনটা, এইটা। সো whenever আমরা ফিল্টার ডিজাইন করছি উইথ রেসপেক্ট টু দ্যাট ম্যাগনিটিউড আমরা কি করছি, 1। এন্ড আমরা যখন ওমেগা 2 ডিজাইন করছি ফিল্টার ফর ওমেগা 2, দ্যাট ম্যাগনিটিউড আমরা কি করছি, 0। ফিল্টার ম্যাগনিটিউড বল,
ওই পার্টটা রিমুভ করে দিয়েছি, ওই জন্য 0 হবে ওখানে।
হ্যাঁ, কিপ ইন মাইন্ড h e to the power j omega 2 will not be 0, মিন্স আমি যদি এটাকে 0 করে দিই এখানে, তার মানে আমার তো ইনপুট সিকোয়েন্সটাকে 0 করছি। আর সিম্পলি আমি আরো ভালো করে বোঝাচ্ছি দাদা, যেমন x কে ডিফাইন করছিস, ডিফাইন ইট বাই x, ওকে, that is x, that is also x, and that is also x. So that is your input, there is no relation to that to the filter, depending on that input আমরা filter design করছি। আমরা যখন filter, whenever we will design the filter we will get h, in that h we are defining h e to the power j omega 1, means that part magnitude, that part is equal to 1, and we are multiplying this with that sequence. So x e to the power j omega 1 is multiplied by h e to the power j omega 1. So what is happening?
x e to the power j omega 1.
It remains x e to the power j omega 1. That means it remains that signal. And if we multiply, if we design as this as h e to the power j omega 2 by making it 0, this is for this case h1, for this case we are making h 0, means h e to the power j omega 2 we are making 0, and we are multiplying that to that sequence. So simply magnitude becoming 0.
Yes, sir.
So x becoming 0, we multiply x and h. So if x becomes 0, all the sequence becomes 0. So only remaining part is what? That magnitude x e to the power j omega n, j omega 1. So only that signal remains by removing that signal.
As I বুঝতে পেরেছি.
Okay. It will be more clear. আমি এখন যখন practically আমি যখন show করব, it will be more clear. So simply consider a practical example. Practical example like that ki xn given as cos 0.1 n plus cos 0.4 n. That will be stop band, that will be pass band. Means we are going to pass cos 0.4 n, we are going to stop 0.1 n. Okay, so with respect to that, simply first we will draw or simply calculate x e to the power j omega. So after calculating x e to the power j omega, you will check the frequency response. Depending on the frequency response, you will design h e to the power j omega. So in h e to the power j omega, you will get two frequency, because first omega is defined by 0.1 and second omega is defined by 0.4, that is cos omega 1 n plus cos omega 2 n. Okay, so first magnitude response in the frequency domain, you will get j into 0.1 e to the power j omega. তাই তো? Magnitude response of the filter, keep in mind, magnitude, not the magnitude response of the sequence. The filter that you are designing, magnitude response of that. And for the second case, we will get the magnitude response h e to the power j 0.4. Okay, so what we will do? If we want to stop that, simply we'll make that magnitude 0 filter, magnitude of that filter is 0, and we'll make magnitude of that filter is 1. Clear?
হ্যাঁ স্যার, ঠিক আছে.
আচ্ছা, after that, simply to design the filter, we have to consider hn. That hn defines the h e to the power j omega, because তুই যদি hn না জানিস, how can you calculate h e to the power j omega? So that you have to consider the filter response as in spatial domain, that is the in কি বলবো, time domain, as alpha, beta, alpha. Any response you can consider. You can consider alpha, beta, gamma, alpha, beta, alpha, whatever. I am considering alpha, beta, alpha to make it simple. That is the only reason, nothing else. So the filter response hn in time domain obviously is defined as alpha, beta, alpha. You have to calculate h to the power j omega for both cases. So first you have to represent hn in the frequency domain. So you will represent hn as h e to the power j omega, and that you will get, obviously that is the 0th form. So alpha plus beta into e to the power minus j omega, plus alpha into e to the power minus 2j omega. Okay, simply that is the response of Hn. So from here, if we make common e to the power minus j omega, e to the power minus j omega, we can write it as beta plus that alpha will be multiplied by e to the power plus j omega, alpha e to the power plus j omega. So if we multiply this, it will become alpha, and plus what will be that value? E to the power minus 2 j omega you have, so 1 will come out, e to the power minus j omega, so remaining part is alpha e to the power minus j omega. So from here, e to the power minus j omega beta plus, if we make alpha common, and if we write 2 alpha, we can write as half e to the power j omega plus e to the power minus j omega. So that remains the same. Half to cancel out and alpha common. So that part defines the cos omega. So simply response is e to the power j omega beta plus 2 alpha cos omega. So that is your h e to the power j omega. So that h e to the power j omega have the magnitude as well as the phase. So from here, what you have to calculate? Mod of h e to the power j omega. That is the magnitude of that frequency response. So if you calculate mod of h e to the power j omega, you know how to calculate the magnitude of a complex sequence. A plus jb, magnitude is root over a square plus b square, and phase is tan inverse b by a. So simply if we calculate the magnitude mod, that is e to the power j omega, so mod of h e to the power j omega, first what you have to do? You have to represent in the format a plus jb, and then simply root of a square plus b square. Okay, so if we do that, the magnitude that you will get beta plus 2 alpha cos omega. Simply you can do that. Represent e to the power j omega by cos omega plus j sin omega and divide it into a plus jb format. Then magnitude will be root over a square plus b square. I think you can do that. And if you do that, you will get that result, beta plus 2 alpha cos omega. Now, that magnitude, if we represent omega by 0.1, 0.1 is radian, okay, in the radian format, not the degree. So if we represent omega by 0.1, so you will get that magnitude, means simply beta plus 2 alpha cos 0.1. If we write that, that must be 0 depending on that process, and beta plus 2 alpha cos 0.4, that is another magnitude, that must be 1. Clear? So (0.1) and 0.4 in radian, I have already told you. So simply cos 0.1 and cos 0.4 you will get, and represent the radian format into the degree, and that you will get the cos value. So you will get two equations where two variables are there. So if you solve these two equations, you will get alpha equal to minus 6.76195, and beta, that you will get 17.45633. So if you solve these two equations, you will get alpha beta like that. Means what? Meaning that if you have xn, and depending on that xn and your aim, that is to remove that part and to continue that part, to fulfill your aim, hn, that you need to choose as alpha, beta, alpha, where the alpha and beta value is that. If we do that, then simply the response, filtered response, you will get as xn cos 0.4 n. Okay, so what we will do? Simply you will represent xn to x e to the power j omega, that hn into h e to the power j omega. You will multiply x e to the power j omega by h e to the power j omega. Whatever the response you are getting, that is suppose g e to the power j omega. So that g e to the power j omega will be the magnitude response of the filtered sequence. Okay, and then you have to do here IDFT. If you do the inverse DFT, you will get Gn. So that Gn will be, that is cos 0.4 n. In that way, you can use the filter, basically the low pass filter. So clear? Now, if you have any question up to that, you can ask me. Clear, Tito? Clear?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা বলতো, if we simply want to keep cos 0.1 n and if we want to remove cos 0.4 n, then what should we do?
একটাকে 1 কোড 0 দিয়ে মাল্টিপ্লেক্সে এইমাত্র পড়ালেন তো, দাঁড়ান বলছি।
That is two equation that you have got. If we want to keep cos 0.1 n, that equation will be 1.
আর 0.4 যেটা আছে স্যার, ওটা 0 হবে, তাই তো?
That will be 1, that will be 0. And you will solve alpha beta. And if we use alpha beta alpha in that format, then
ওই স্যার ম্যাগনিটিউড আর ফেজ যেরকম করে বার করছিলাম বলছেন ওইরকম করে, তাই তো?
ঠিক আছে. So in that way you have to do the filtering. Now I am showing you some practical operation. What I am doing, সবাই দেখতে পাচ্ছিস তো ম্যাটল্যাবটা?
Yes sir.
What I am doing here, we are considering x as a combination of three sequence. X as a combination of three sequence, that is sine 2 pi fn plus sine 2 pi, দাঁড়া এটা আগে সরাই নলে অসুবিধা হচ্ছে। ঠিক আছে, sine 2 pi fn one sequence, another sequence is sine 2 pi fn by 4, another sequence is sine 2 pi fn by 2. Three sequence addition we are considering x. Okay, so that is your input sequence. That input sequence need to filter out. So for that case you need to simply sampling frequency. That sampling frequency fs defined by 50 Hz. Fs equal to 50, that defines the sampling frequency 50 Hz. What is sampling frequency? The sampling frequency is going to define the sampling time. Means simply
Fs is equal to 1 by Ts.
Yes, exactly. Means graphically, if we represent like that, that is your sampling time, the sampling gap between two sample, that you can design, you can calculate by using the sampling frequency. That is the reason you need to choose the sampling frequency. Fs is equal to 1 by Ts. Okay, so that is sampling frequency you have chosen. And if define the signal frequency, means x sine 2 pi fn, means that is the signal frequency f, so that is defined as 20. So simply for the first sequence sine 2 pi fn, the frequency is 20. For the second sine 2 pi fn by 4, means 20 by 4 means 5 for this case signal frequency, and for the third case signal frequency is 2, that is fn by 2 means 20 by 2, it will be 10. The sampling frequency is 10, and here n is defined as your sampling period. I think got something wrong. Okay, n defines the sampling period, means how much, up to how much range we are going to check, and it is defined as the from 1 by fs to 1 from a gap of 1 by fs up to a range 1. And what is happening here, simply if we do that, the sampling period will start from a 0 point and it will end at a 1 point, and each sampling frequency gap will be defined by, or the sampling time gap will be defined by 1 by fs. Okay, I think if we make it 0, then also it will work. Yes, 0 is to 1 by fs is to 1, means we'll start the value of n from 0 and the value of n will end at 1, and the sampling period will be given by 1 by fs, means the gap between two sample will be 1 by fs or 1 by 500, means simply 0 to 1 range we are splitting into 500 number of samples. Okay, so after that what we are doing, simply we are adding some noise to the signal. We will simply pass some frequency range, and also we will remove the noise of the signal. So simply we are adding a random noise, that is your x is your original signal, rand is defined to define the random noise 1 comma length of x, means whatever the length of the input signal, we are adding a random noise of same length. Keep in mind, we are adding a random noise of same length to x, so x plus that noise defines your y. So y basically your noisy signal, that input signal in addition with a noise. Okay, so I think all of you know the function of subplot. Basically subplot defines to display the plot of a sequence. The first position of the subplot, that is that 2, defines the number of rows, second position defines the number of columns, and the third position defines the position. So simply if we run the subplot, one box will come. Okay, 2 to 1 means 2 number of rows, you can check it here, that is the first row, that is the second row, and second 2 defines the 2 number of columns, so that is the first column, that is the second column. So subplot will do that, and 1 defines that first position, 2 defines that second position, 3 defines that third position, and 4 defines that fourth position. So simply we are trying to display 4 number of image in a 2 by 2 structure, or simply 4 number of signal in a 2 by 2 structure by defining the position 1 2 3 4. Okay, so plot, whenever doing the plot n comma y, whenever we are doing the plot n comma y, simply we are plotting our noisy signal in addition with the input signal. So this is our input signal that is noisy. Okay. Now what we are going to do, simply we are going to remove that noise, as well as we are going to allow a specific frequency range of the signal. 3 frequency range is provided. We are going to allow a specific frequency range. So that is our aim. So for that case, what we are doing, first, what I have told you, we need to do the spectral analysis of the signal. Means that is given in time domain or in the sample domain, whatever you can say, that is given in a time domain. So first you have to represent that signal in the frequency domain, and you have to show the amplitude or the magnitude of the signal in the frequency domain. As h e to the power j omega, I have told you, to calculate or to design that part, first you have to design the amplitude of that signal. So if we do that, that is the code L equal to length NFFT defines simply 2 to the power next power 2 of L. That defines that, suppose the length of L is 512. Length of L is 512, like that. 512. Okay. And you are getting the signal length as 620. Suppose in the x-axis you are considering the length as 0 to 512, and you are getting a signal of length 620. So will it work? It should not work, because it will not show the all frequency range, because after 512 whatever the range, whatever the signal here will not be displayed here. So what you have to do, we have to use some code so that if the length is 620, so minimum next level range it will consider. Means 512 defines the 10 to the power 2 to the power, suppose I think 9 or 8, whatever. So if it defines 512 and the signal length you have got 620, it will automatically choose the next length 2 to the power 10, that will define as 1024. So it will automatically take 1024, and over that range if we display that length 620, so it will work very easily. So that part is done by that, and it is stored in NFFT, or you can define any name, it's not a matter. So you can check simply length of y. If we run the length of y, length is showing that 501. So NFFT will automatically be the 512. If the length of is 513, then it should automatically choose 1024. If we run that part, you will see that NFFT will automatically be the 512. So it is okay if we have a signal length 501 and you are considering the number of samples 512 to display the number of samples 512 number of samples. So it is okay. It will not be a problem. It will show all the result. Then we are doing the simply Fourier transform FFT defined by the FFT, and we are considering the absolute value because we are going to display the magnitude. So we are considering the FFT of y, because y are the inputs noisy sequence. So we are considering the FFT of y over a length of 512. So simply we are doing the FFT of y over a length of 512. Okay. After that, we are displaying that frequency representation. That is basically used to display the frequency representation, and that part, that is fs by 2 line space 0 1 in fft by 2 plus 1 defines that how many frequency part we are going to consider. Because you know that whenever we are displaying or considering the equation considered minus pi to pi means 2 pi range, but we are going to choose only the pi range, because within that pi range we will have the filter. So simply what we are doing, instead of minus 2 pi to pi, we are considering 0, okay, and 1, and 0 and 1 defines the pi range by defining that total range divided by 2, because 5 12 defines the 2 pi range. So we are making total range divided by 2 plus 1, so that will define from 0 to 1 as a 512 by 2 number of range, that is some values of 512 by 2 whatever, 250 or 256 something like that. So that will be your range. Okay, so we will run this code. Now frequency stored the axis, and yFFT that stored the x-axis. X-axis defines the magnitude, that defines the magnitude, and that defines the frequency axis. The subplot second position will simply plot that magnitude frequency response. So if we do that, you can see the magnitude frequency response you are getting like that. You can check it, that first it is defining the frequency at 5 Hertz, at 10 Hertz second frequency, at 20 Hertz that defines the third frequency. And initially at 0 position, the whatever the magnitude defines, that magnitude is called the DC magnitude, because here the frequency is 0. Frequency is 0 means whatever that you are getting, it's not AC. If the frequency is 0 means what? The current is the DC current. That is, from that part it comes that for frequency 0, whatever the magnitude you are getting is called the DC magnitude. Okay, so this is the DC magnitude of the system, and at the 5 Hertz you are getting a one peak, at 10 Hertz you are getting another peak, and 20 Hertz you are getting another peak. Other peak are the noises. Keep in mind that 3 peak you are getting because you have chosen input sample as a addition of 3. First defines the 20 Hertz, f equal to 20. Second defines the f by f, or you can write simply f by 4, whatever. F by 4 means 5. Second sample defines the 5, and third sample defines the 10. So it's a combination of 5, 10 and 20. So that is the reason you are getting 3 peaks at 5, at 10 and at 20. Okay, so that defines the frequency domain representation of the input signal. So what you are going to do, you are going to remove all the noise and you are going to keep any one sample. Suppose you are going to keep the sample which has a frequency of 5. So you will choose that range. Simply you will choose, if we choose that range, it will define simply the frequency of that, and other will be removed. So you will design a filter like that. As you can see here, 0 to some range you have to choose less than 5 range, suppose 3 to 7 range, suppose 3 to 7 range you are going to show, other range you are going to remove. So filter will be like that: 0 to 3 0, 3 to 7 1, 7 to, after all the values will be 0. So that will be your filter. So keep in mind, this is practical filter, ideal filter. That is 0 to 3 you are getting 0, again suddenly you are getting 1. So it will not be possible. So practical filter will be look alike but something difference. Okay, so I'll show you. This is your representation of the signal frequency domain. After that, depending on that representation, you have to design the filter. So initially we are designing a filter, suppose the Butterworth filter. I will go in detail in Butterworth filter. Just keep the name in your mind. O defines the order of the filter. So we will choose the order of the filter. Omega n defines the cutoff frequency. Omega n defines the cutoff frequency. That 3 and 7 defines the which part of the frequency you are going to cut. Okay, here if we consider 3 7, then only that frequency range we will consider. That frequency range we will consider. Instead of 3 and 7, if we consider 8 and 12, so that frequency range will be considered. And instead of 8 12, if we consider suppose 18 to 22, that frequency range will be considered. So that is the importance of the spectrum analysis or the frequency domain analysis of the input signal, that you can design your filter by considering the frequency ranges. Okay, so depending on that, first we have choose the range passband omega n, simply cutoff range 3 to 7. Okay, and 2 by fs because time period must be 1 by fs into 2 in that range. So you can choose also something different. So within that range it will be shown. It's not so much important. Main important part is 3 to 7. That is the cutoff frequency you are going to choose. BA butter, OWN band pass. B and A defines the magnitude or simply defines the coefficient of the Butterworth filter, because you know whenever you will design a filter coefficient will be like that. If Hz is a filter, then filter coefficient A plus A1 plus A2 Z inverse plus like that B1 plus B2 Z inverse, something like that. In that way you will get the filter, and A1 B1 will be the coefficient, A1 B1 A2 B2, that are the coefficient. So that coefficients are defined as A and B, and obviously it will be the matrix format, because A you are getting suppose n number of, so A1 to A n number of sample you will get, that is a matrix. Similarly B will get a B number of suppose m number of, so B1 to Bm you are getting the coefficient. So that is the reason you are getting A and B are the matrices. Okay, B call the denominator, A call the numerator. So denominator will be written first, numerator will be written second. Then butter means it is choosing the Butterworth filter of order. First defines the order, second defines the cutoff range, and third defines the what type of filter you are going to design. This is the band pass filter, because simply we are not considering 0 to a range, we are considering a specific frequency range to a specific frequency, means that band we are going to pass. That is the reason we are choosing the band pass filter, nothing else. Inside of band pass filter, if we choose the low pass filter, in that case you need to display simply suppose 7 in the place of 3 7, you can choose simply 7. In that case the display value or display frequency will be from 0 to 7, means that peak along with the DC response. So we don't want that, simply we want only that peak, we don't want DC response. So in spite of low pass filter we will use the simply band pass filter. Okay, so what is happening here? If we do that, okay, after that simply whatever the frequency response we are getting, FREQZ defines the frequency response considering the B and A, or considering the coefficient that are the important, as I have written here alpha, beta, alpha, that are the coefficient of the filter. So B, A are that coefficient of the filter. So depending on that coefficient, filter is going to design. So here H and W defines, H defines the magnitude, W defines the phase. So magnitude and phase can be written as like that, FREQ Z B, A 1024 fs. Means as we know that 501 number of sample we have, so simply we can design the filter by using the coefficient as the denominator, numerator, then more than 512, that is 1024, and then the sampling frequency. Okay, so that will define the magnitude and phase. H will be magnitude, W will be the phase. Then simply do the subplot position 3. Simply if you plot W, it will be the simply if we place the phase, this is your phase W, and if we simply plot the absolute value of H in dB format, means the magnitude, you will get your filter representation as like that. So that is your filter. So you can check it. It is in the dB format. You can check it. It is in the dB format, that between the range 3, that range, between the range 3 and 7, you are getting 1. Other are gradually decreasing. Okay, means that is ideal filter, ideal band pass filter, which is passing the range from 3 to 7. Okay, so if we do that, from 3 to 7, the frequency will pass. Now simply what you need to do, you need to simply multiply that with that spectrum will be multiplied to that spectrum, the second spectrum will be multiplied to the third spectrum. As a result, you will get only that portion, and as it is not zero, you will not get exactly same as input. Some deviation you will get, that deviation is allowable, maximum allowable deviation you will get. So if we do that, simply filter B, A, Y. B and A are the coefficient, and that coefficient is used to design the Y. Y is what? Y simply your input noisy sequence. So if we simply use the filter of the input noisy sequence considering the coefficient B and A, we will get our filtered output, and filtered output is stored in Y underscore FILT. That is your filtered output. So this is the addition, and this is the simply showing the output for Y equal to, or simply that part 5 considered, na? So this part, only this part, it is showing only this part, sine 2 pi fn by 4. Now initially we should not consider some ranges, as it is starting from 0 and it is you are not getting a regular shape. So we will not choose some portion, because that part comes due to the different order of the filter. If we change the order of the filter, that shape will also change. So simply, as we have so many number of period, we will simply neglect 1 or 2 period. After that we will consider the signal. That signal will give you the filtered signal. Okay, so that is your input, noisy input, and that is your filtered signal, where we are getting filtered only the range, only that frequency range is showing here. Similarly, if we simply change the frequency range, you can change simply that part, 37 into, suppose at frequency range 10 you are going to show, so suppose 8, 12. So if we run that, you will get that. Okay, so that is displaying the second peak, frequency for the second peak. Okay, in that way you can simply filter out some portion of the signal and also the noise, and you can consider only some specific portions.